side, especially when you have a guy like Twist who is hitting his shots, who is in that stride, especially on a map like Overpass, in the last one of a series where you've actually got a crippled Astralis, a rather limping Astralis right here, and now was your time to succeed, and they did it, Jacob.
They sure did, and it was good to see Twist coming in and taking that role, I guess. Maniac said it pretty well. We're talking about it. Nog didn't have a great game on Overpass. He wasn't that demanding. He wasn't hitting his shots. And then you have Twist coming in and just taking over that role with the AWP. Device had a great game again. He was super, super good on Nuke. He was potentially even better on Overpass, creating a lot of chaos for NIP and doing a lot of work with the AWP. So no response from Nog. It was super important that Twist came in and picked up that role. And again, it just shows to me that NIP is a team that is slowly but surely maturing a little bit, figuring out the roles, they're being versatile, just like we knew Astralis was in the beginning when, back in the old days when Kerrigan could all of a sudden AWP instead of Device and all that kind of stuff. So you have two very potent AWP players, and if one is not feeling it, well, Twist picked it up and he saved the day for NIP, and to me, that's a great sign for the future as well.
Now, I did promise that we would get to talk about Astralis, so we might as well begin that right about here. Matthew, you said you're a big fan. You said that you thought that this project was going to carry through, but really and truly, this is not where Astralis want to be as a brand or as a team. I mean, we could see that. There's a ton of questions that we have around the lineup itself, but where do you see them most vulnerable?
Most vulnerable right now? Well, the problem is we don't really know what's to come with that roster. I doubt that all of these players will stay. Obviously, Snappy is on his way out. Estetag is waiting on the bench to jump in. Yuki's position in that lineup to me is very debatable. As a player, I'm not exactly sure he, has what it takes to fight against the top level. I mean, we can look at the bright side as well. I think two names that we have to mention would be the ones of Device and Dupree. They've been actually raining havoc in that BO3, even though they go out as losers in that game. They did a very good job. They made life super complicated and hard for NIP. And I think these are the two players suited the best to kind of find their way amidst the chaos, because this Astralis right now, it's a complicated project for sure. They tweeted they might take a vacation. They might take some time to relax. And I think that's the right move. I think it's the right move on short term.
And, I'm looking at this in a much bigger picture. I think that you are right. They need to go back. They need to recollect and sort of recompose themselves. We talk about refocus all the time, and this is something for Astralis. This is that moment where they're going to get that opportunity. Then there's obviously talk about what lineup they're going to finish out with. But you know what? That's all speculation. That's all that we can know. I think their 7th or 8th player is going to be Jacob Pimpinicky. But then we don't have time to talk about that. Fortunately enough, it works out that we get to talk to Hampus instead. I believe from the NIP side. Yes, sir. Hello.
Okay.
Tell me, my friend, just how sweaty did it get in the office today?
Yeah, it's really sweaty, to be honest.
So, all right, we look at this game, and, for NIP, for you guys to come in here, you look like the better team. You seemingly are the better team in a weird sort of way. But for you, when you see a teammate like Twist just popping off and hitting all the shots, pushing you into OT, can you talk to me about that feeling itself?
Yeah, it just feels amazing, to be able to trust like all your teammates and just know that everyone is just so good, so everyone can win any round. And now today Twist, he won like 4 clutches in a row or something to get us to OT, so this game is thanks to him.
Hampus, it's not a secret that this is a step up in your career. How do you find yourself in NIP so far? I guess there's a lot of pressure added from the public, from the community, but also in terms of you as a player. You're now finding yourself in a team that, dare say, is supposed to be a top 10 team at the very least. Do you feel that pressure, or you're more like, this is exciting, this is something that I want to?
Yeah, I feel more like that. It's really exciting. Like I want a challenge, to challenge myself and just get better and better every day. And I feel like just every day from just playing with the guys, I just feel that I just like absorb the knowledge they have, So I learn every day.
And you're able to learn them stuff as well.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about when you had your backs against the wall. You made a great comeback in that game. Can you tell me a little bit, how was the team speak? How was the atmosphere when you had to save all these rounds? Were you guys calm? Was it excited?
We were pretty calm, I think. Like it was... Yeah, we really focused on the game, and we just calmed and played.
Nice.
I talked a little bit to Threat, the coach. I interviewed him, I think it's 3 or 4 weeks ago, and he said that one of the biggest weaknesses within NIP right now is the mentality of you guys. When you get off to a bad start or when you feel the pressure, you guys have a tendency to shut down. Is that something you've experienced as well? Is that something you're working on, or has that completely been rewrote since you came into the lineup?
I think yeah, it's a good question. I think most of the games we get a pretty good start. Like we're often like up 7-0, 7-1, and then we start losing like 5 rounds in a row. So I think that is the main problem we have now, that we need to keep I don't really know what the word is, but we need to keep winning at least when we're up like 7-1. Cause
Keep the composure and stay calm, I guess.
Composure.
yeah, keep the composure.
So, Hampus, I look at you here, and then I look at this NIP lineup, and I think, okay, this is a team that, yes, you're in the lower bracket currently. You just beat Astralis. And you being new to the team, I kind of wonder, what is something that you want to build upon within the team yourself? Like, what is something that you weren't happy with from day one?
That's a good question. I don't know, really. Like,
Surprise.
I focused a lot on like there's a lot of new call out, new tactics and stuff, new voices I need to learn, and it's like right now I'm just focusing on the game. Like I'm changing some stuff, but we're keeping some stuff that they had some from before, so we're just trying to find a good balance there, and I just need to learn everything. It's still a bit messy in the head.
Do you feel like you're pretty far away from knowing it all?
Yeah, I think so, a bit, but it's, as I said before, we're getting better day by day.
Yeah, cool, man. Well, I think we'll leave it there on a high note, a good note. Anything you want to say to NIP fans? I give Threat the opportunity, and I think you've earned one too, Hampus.
On Swedish or English?
It's up to you. I think our production crew would appreciate Swedish, so let's go with that.
Ja. Tack till alla som kollar. Det är för er vi spelar, så tack.
Tack. Yeah,
Tack.
Thanks, man. And thank you. We will see you around. Thank you very much, Hampus. One of the newest and greatest additions there to the NIP side of things. And of course, for NIP, it hasn't ended here. This is not the end of their journey. In fact, this could be the very beginning. If you think about the composure that they're talking about, if this was enough to give them that sort of confidence or that sort of build that they need going forward in this bracket, then they just got it.
Yeah, I think that was a great game. I think this is a great learning experience as well. Let's be honest, right? Astralis should have won that game. When they were up 15-11, they got down to those 3 1-versus-1 against Twist. Astralis should have won one of them at the very least. So they should have been out of the tournament. So the fact that they get by, they show that composure. They now sit back and think to themselves, "Poof, we got off the scare." It's a great learning experience for the guys. Now, when they face Vitality in this lower bracket, they have to step it up. Otherwise, they're going to send them out of the tournament. So they cannot be happy. They cannot be satisfied. But they can be, somewhat comforting in the fact that still with them not playing up to 100%, they can still win games. And again, to me, that's a great sign for the future. When you're able to win when you're playing at 70 or 80%, that's a sign that you have something good coming for you.
Yeah, and for Maniac, I think the word that he's trying to say is soulless, maybe. It's just like that little bit of a nice patch within, what is otherwise gray grass.
Yeah, absolutely. And I completely echo Jacob's sentiment. When you are able to win games and you're not doing your best, it gives you a certain feeling of confidence that even if games start in a very bad way or you find yourself with your back against the wall, then actually you can come back. Surviving this game, I think, might be very, very important for NIP's future because they had 15 against them. It was map number 3. They were one step to fall into Grand Canyon or wherever you want to picture that. And they didn't. Actually, they survived all these clutches. They stayed alive and they won. So it's one of these experience that you keep the back in your pocket and you can actually do it.
Yeah, and for us, it's not completely over here either. We're going to get the opportunity in just a few seconds to talk to Zonic. That's Papa Zonic. That's that could be your dad, Jacob. We don't know. Oh, there he is. He's calling right now. Let's see what he's got to say. Perhaps he's got some words for us, some wisdom. Zonic, it's very sunny outside, and you look very unhappy, and I can understand why. It hasn't been a great day in the office, but moreover, I want to ask you, Zonic, about Astralis in its current state. What do you have to say? So there's a bit of a problem here, Mr. Danny, and it appears that we can hear each other. And I think it would be even cooler if me and you could just have a conversation right here without Twitch chat. But I don't think that that's really how this works. So unfortunately, I am going to have to let you go in this moment. And I do think that we're going to be, yeah, I know, man. Big hearts to you, though, and big hearts to the rest of the Astralis camp as you guys try to piece it all back together and put it all back into one place. Thank you for your time, Danny. There he goes.
I can do my best Sonic impression, and you can ask me the questions, and we can take it.
Okay, let's go for it for a second.
That's a dangerous game.
It is a dangerous game. You are correct.
That could be it as well.
So, Zonic, aka Jacob Pimp Vinicky, Astralis not looking so good right now. What do you have to say on behalf of your team?
Nah, I think what Sonic would have said is something along the lines of, yes, they know they're in a rough spot. Yes, they know it's not going their way, and yes, they know that the current iteration of Astralis is not the Astralis we know them to be. It's a team that is it's as I worded it on my own Twitter, right? They're just trying to do damage control right now. They know they're in a rough spot. They know they're in a rough state right now. They don't have the players' desire to be on the lineup. They had to go out and get Snappy. He wasn't even the first choice. Nothing bad against Snappy. I think he's been doing as good as he could in this lineup, you know, under these circumstances. But a fact of the matter is that right now, a team that is supposed to be the best in the world is performing not even as a top 10 team. That's simply not good enough. Whether that's on the players themselves, whether that's on the organization, whether they just need a break, there's plenty of questions, plenty of answers to be given to us, I guess, over time. But for now, we can just conclude that Astralis is nowhere near to be found where they should be. And I think it's okay to give them the slack that, yeah, they've been the best in the world for more or less 2 years straight. So if this is the first real crisis they have, let them have it, let them find a way to fight back, and let's judge them after that one.
And I look at this and I think, man, if it left Zonic speechless like it did, then it must be real bad over there in the Astralis camp. I'm just kidding. We got some more games coming your way. That's going to be G2 taking on Navi in an upper semifinal, Big versus FaZe Clan. But for me, I'm out of here. I'm done. Finito. Mr. Banks will be taking over. And that's it. So we will be seeing you a little bit later. Don't go anywhere. The G2 Navi waiting room is right here. We will be right back.
just shake the ground. Oh, this night, yeah, it will fill the air around.
Well, that was a banger of a game to kick the day off with, but it's time for us to get back in the groove for this next matchup. It's a rematch between Navi and G2, but things have changed oh so much here. And to discuss all of this Counter-Strike madness with me, I've got Pimp and I've got Potter. And my oh my, where to begin with this one? Because this is one of these games where if this was maybe a couple of months ago, you'd say, yeah, Navi, nice and easy, right? But right now, I don't think we can be too sure of that.
Nope, I don't think either. I think Navi is a big question mark. I think G2 is a big question mark. And to me, that's what's going to make this game so exciting. We have some of the best players in the world turning up on the server. We have two teams we know can be playing at a very high level. We also have two teams that can be playing at a relatively low level. So we don't know what to get here. And I think that's what makes this first and foremost super exciting.
Now, when we're looking at this, right, I want to start with Navi, because Navi right now, you praise them for all these things they did start to have, but when they've hit this online environment, which I'm not sold on being an excuse anymore, they just can't seem to get their stuff together. It's a big problem out here for these guys, Potter.
Yeah, it definitely is, you know, but it's so strange because Navi, you still watch them, the eye test, you still see Simple pulling out all the stops, coming out with those heroic plays and converting clutch rounds that we know and love Simple can actually do. But then you look over to Perfecto and Flamey, and they seem to be struggling the most. These two players, we know exactly what kind of value Flamey can bring into this Navi squad lineup, but right now it's just so few and far between, kind of spread out against 2 or 3 series. Then one map he'll show up, he'll be explosive, and then he just kind of disappears. So certainly Navi, they are going through a bit of a turbulent 2020 so far, but we got to remember their skill ceiling is kind of what Jacob said. When they're explosive, when they all show up, it's just it seems that no one can actually stop them. So it's certainly a question mark which Navi is actually going to show up here today.
And that's what it's all about, right? And when we look at this, Boomich, he can give us, like, he's Mr. Consistent with it. Doesn't have to be always at the top. He has some wild, crazy plays every now and again. Perfecto, he's still newly trying to find his way into this, but he's had enough time now in my eyes. But it's Flamey I'm looking at most of all here as the guy that he's always been the difference maker. If he's coming in hot, if he's able to be the third star of this lineup, then that's when we see Navi perform. And for some reason, he just can't get it together. And that's the scary part for me here.
Yeah, and I agree, and I'm glad you said Perfecto. He's had his time now. He should be able to somewhat perform at a little bit of a higher level. I don't want to go to him as being the first blame, though. I don't want to go to Flamey either being the first blame, because I agree Flamey should be playing better, and Flamey should be performing better. We know how good he can be. Now, the biggest problem for me with Navi, and it's always been the biggest problem, even after I am Katowice, I said that Boomich, yes, he's a great player. He's very, like, when you watch him on the server, he likes to create a lot of space. He's leading by example, and I think he's good at that. But is he the in-game leader that can control the likes of Simple and Electronic on the same lineup? I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen that personality. I haven't seen that, you know, body language on lane as well. I need to see more from Boomich before I actually believe that he's going to be the right fit to be the in-game leader in Navi. That is supposed to be the best team in the world. I'm tired of listening to the excuses out there. When you have Electronic and Simple on the same team, you're supposed to be at the very least a top 3 team in the world consistently, and Navi have not been, so simply not good enough. Question is it Boomich or someone else that has to lead that, you know, train of Navi for the future? I don't really know, but I need to see something, and I need to see something now.
Well, let's find out what Navi's thinking going into this match versus G2.
Our game against ENCE was not good for us. On first map train, we didn't have a good team play. On Dust 2, we were playing a bit better, but still we were making so much mistakes as T-side. It's always not nice to lose games, but yeah, that's how it is.
He has to let Electronic go pick up the pieces, which he will. But can he close with the clutch? He's got Sunny, at least that much. And Ariel's still just on the P250 as Electronic just has a field day.
The game against NIP was, we didn't expect they pick overpass, but they didn't know maybe that we did a lot of work on it, so that's why they decided to pick it. The second map was Nuke, and we have some shaky results on it, so we managed to win it and we get the semi-final spot.
Desire for Navi, but this Famas on Res just being a nuisance. Simple doesn't like nuisances, and so actually he's taken this whole round by storm. This one AK finding 3 allows the bomb plant, does immediately get dealt with by Plopsky, but Flamey's in with the response. Now doesn't have armor, and up against the MP9 that can make all the difference. The aim punch could send Flamey out of this round. Able to reposition, gets the shot off and lands the first.
I think G2 is a very great opponent. Last time we played them, it was in Katowice, we won, but it was like LAN. Now they're in semi-final, they did great in group stage, so They're confident in themselves, but we are confident too, and I hope for a great match. It's always so nice to play against them. Let's play some Counter-Strike and have fun, you know?
Well, they're certainly going to need to play some great Counter-Strike here. And I can see, right, and you can just hear it from Flamey, those results, even though they've made it this far, he's not happy with it. He knows they can do better, but it's what they need. It's what's going to be the difference maker in ensuring they can get this win over G2. Because actually, I would say G2 right now probably looks hotter than Navi do.
Exactly. And even when we're talking about Navi, it's like we know that what they can actually accomplish and what they can provide in that server. And so our expectations are set very high. But these individuals, these players, their expectations are also set very high. So when they do start losing, when they start teetering away from, as Jacob mentioned, being a top 3 consistent dog in the competitive space, you start to have doubt, you start to lose trust. And as Jacob mentioned, that in-game leadership, you know, I don't think it's a huge issue with the in-game leader. I'm just thinking about Blade being behind these Navi guys, being able to actually talk in these freeze times and within the rounds itself, being as that we're in this online space versus that LAN space. So I feel like Blade, he should have a lot more input and impact within these rounds to be able to put the pieces where they should be and having better results. But that's just not what we're seeing so far with these Navi guys.
And then when it comes to G2, right? Yes, they faced off against each other. It was back at the Katowice finals, but it was such an incredible run coming out from the Navi lineup here. I feel like G2 have a bit more comfort here on the online scenario.
Yeah, I guess, but they've been looking shaky as well as of lately. I don't think they have been playing to the level that we expect G2 to be at. I think G2 have now had that, you know, I wouldn't necessarily call it a honeymoon period, but they had that, you know, steep learning curve where they actually got better gradually over event by event. And then, as you said, at IM Katowice 2020, they were actually looking super, super good. Of course, nobody could beat Navi at that event. They were looking like unbeatable in the playoffs, but G2 was a lineup that I thought, you know, if they can replicate that performance or at least just get close to it, we have a new team that is easily top 5, top 4 in the world. It hasn't been looking that good for G2. It's been shaky. It's been a little bit up and down. The results, you know, when you look at them online, they've not been bad by any means, right? They finished, you know, relatively well in the road to Rio. They finished well in the Pro League, but the level of play, the eye test, as Christine was talking about, it's not the same G2 we saw in Katowice. We still need to see more from NEXT. We still need to see more from Kenny S, Hunter for that matter as well. Those players, they show us exactly how good they are, and they have been playing well, but I think we have even more in store for G2. And hopefully this week off they have, you know, to prepare for this tournament, to prepare for this game, could be exactly what they needed in order to get back at that.
And that's certainly what is needed here. But I want to hear from this G2 team, because what have they been working on ahead of all of this?
When we played North, it was not easy, especially because it was opening match at DreamHack. We didn't play well, we didn't play our game. Of course, they played also pretty well, but I felt like we were tired because we played in 10 days 8 best of 3s or something, and it was pretty hard, like, to stay in focus.
Comes in on the wrap, deletes the man. Amanek is the 1v2. He has to stick this defuse and he needs to peek him. Cage.
When we play Heroic, we should have lost this third map, Mirage. That's the only thing I remember at the moment against them, like on 15-12, so like they had 3 match map points. They didn't defuse the bomb because guy without kit started to defuse without reason.
Did Nico jump on first with
Nico was the
no
guy
kit?
defusing, yeah.
Oh.
We did comeback, it was 15-15 as you all know, and we won on overtimes. We really had a luck. Astralis, they played without Glaive, who is the most important player. And we knew that we already secured playoffs, whatever happened, and we just decided to play our game without any pressure. Whatever happened is fine, you know.
He's staying solo, and he has dropped the bomb. He's actually removed 2. Hunter with a flank down from the catwalk, though. He's made this round possible. He's put them in a doable situation.
A lot of these positions, Yuki doesn't know they're inside A and B either, but he's going to flick back round just running for his life. Zip has a one-on-one, and he's not going to take it. Kenny fast.
We played today against Navi. At the moment, as we all know, they are also top 1 in the world, so that says it all, but I think we have quality to beat them. We are prepared like as best as we can, and of course we will not play with any pressure, so I hope Navi you're ready, because it's time for revenge for this Katowice finals after we beat us 3-0. This time we play online, so I think we have more chance online than on LAN. See you boys on the server today, bye.
Yes, that is right, Hunter. It is the #1 team in the world currently going up against the #2 when you're looking at Navi versus G2. And I think this video is going to be quite interesting because we know we love to see a bit of Mirage come in for the likes of G2, but it's the permaban at the moment here for Navi, but they both like a bit of dust too, though G2 is one of those weird teams of it. Sometimes they look crazy good on it, other times it's non-existent and you wonder what on earth they're doing even picking it.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of these maps will be overlapping, and I think that Dust 2 should be coming out from Navi's side of things, and there it is right there. Once again, Dust 2, Mirage, and Nuke, both of these squads very familiar with these 3 maps. In fact, these are their favorite comfort maps. So, I mean, G2, you just heard Hunter talking about it. The first week in DreamHack Masters, they were tired. They had been grinding out through all these matches. So this series, I mean, I'm expecting to see a much more fresh-looking G2 coming out.
Me too. And just judging by the maps, we're going to have one hell of a game right here. Mirage, very open, you know, love to take duels. Kenny in particular on that map, he's just, you know, fun to watch, I'd say. Nexa as well, very versatile, very aggressive, very proactive. So look out for him in the Mirage game. And then Dust 2, of course. I think we have what has to be called the best entry fragger in the world on that map, specifically in Electronic. He's going to be running over Catwalk, he's going to be running in towards the A-bomb side, and he's going to make it tough for Kenny and for the rest of G2. So these 2 maps, and in particular Dust 2, I think is going to be a firework. And as said, we don't really know where these 2 teams stand at the moment. We saw G2, they've been playing all right. Now they got a week off, no longer feeling tired. So hopefully that's going to be good for them to get some energy. Whereas for Navi, it's been looking rocky. But I think we saw in the group stage here at DreamHack Masters a week ago that it's getting better for Navi. It's not as bad as it was 2 weeks ago. So if they continue that progress, we have 2 teams who's potentially trending upwards. And when you have 2 teams who's trending upwards, you have a good game on your hand.
Now, Pimp, I know this is going to be a banger of a game. I was going to ask you your predictions, but it's time for us to kick it to a break. So we will think about that and maybe join into it when we go into the next map. But first, coming up is Mirage. It's G2's pick going up against Navi. And when you come back after the break, you'll have Scrawny and Lawless to give you the commentary.
Flashbang's affected. They have got through the smoke wall here, but Chris J, he is the final boss of the bomb site.
Now Spitty and Chris J to keep Mousesports alive.
Oh, Chris! He's found 3. It's down to a 2-on-2. Chris, can he close this with an ace? Oh my God!
Can they actually close this out? Boom, Chris.
Fantastic way to start, and no scopes on him himself. Absolutely saving Mousesports.
Hey, it's me, Lily from AT&T. I'm back working from home and here to help.
Hey Lily, I'm hearing a lot about 5G. Should I be getting excited?
Depends. Are you gonna want faster speeds?
I will.
More reliability?
Oh, also yes.
Better response times?
Definitely.
Are you gonna be making sourdough bread?
Oh, is that 5G related?
No, it's just like, why is everyone making sourdough now? But yes, you're gonna want 5G.
AT&T is building 5G on America's best network. Visit att.com to learn more.
I used to like this game, but lately I go crazy. Too many drinks again, my mind gets faded, it's complicated. 'Cause the closer I get to you, the more I don't know what to do. Can you tell me if we'd ever be together? 'Cause I don't know what you want. Oh no, no, I don't. Could this last forever? Will I ever know? I don't know what you want. Oh no, no, I don't. I don't know what you want. Oh no, no, I don't. covered in smoke, not losing my hope. I'm laying in my bed with you in my head. Do you understand? But the closer I get to you, the more I don't know what to do. Can you tell me if we'd ever be together? 'Cause I don't know what you want. Oh no, I don't. Could this last forever? Will I ever know? I don't know what you want. Oh no, I don't. I don't know what you want. Oh no, I don't. No, I don't. I don't know what you want. Can you tell me if we'd ever be together? Well, I don't know. I don't know what you want. Oh no, I don't. Could this last forever? Will I ever know? I don't know what you want. Oh no, I don't.
Well, hello, European Counter-Strike fans. It looks like we're back and ready for what is apparently the #1 and #2 ranked teams in the world. Navi versus G2. That's right, I said it. Mohan, can you believe this?
I can't at all. I haven't actually casted Navi in months now, I feel like, and I don't know, we didn't even get a piece of Navi last time in the group stages for DreamHack Masters, so this is gonna be hella exciting. We got to watch that charity tournament with Navi, then pulling it out 3-2 versus Mouse in the finals. As I mentioned, they're doing a bit better now, a little bit better. We've got a good version of Navi to go into this, and we have G2 coming for the top spot. I am so excited to see what's gonna happen here on Mirage.
And that's the beauty of it, right? Mirage, Dust 2, such a consistency between these teams. So this is what we've gotten to love, and this is what we've really gotten to know really well in this individual matchup. So let's just sit back and enjoy it, folks. Welcome. We've got the upper bracket of DreamHack Masters Spring 2020. Two fantastic best of threes, but this pistol, starting off over at the B site, well, Perfecto and Electronic, they're gonna just go ahead and stop it. G2 not finding an entry whatsoever, no utility left. Finally, Hunter's gonna piece one together, but then there's the double good. This is one of those moments where it's like, is this really getting turned upside down? And as long as these low players don't peak, they should still be able to close this. Hunter, he is going to get dropped by Boomich, and that's the bomb down too.
No more fun angles to work with here in the B halls. You're just waiting for death. You're behind bars in prison, waiting to perish, basically. And that's it. That's the rush. It gets held by Navi. They hold on to these good angles. Great flashes, as we can see. The counter flash is fantastic there from Electronic. And of course, it's just a firing range. And the whole idea is you got to get out the window. You don't get out the window, you are going to die, and the rest of your teammates are going to follow. So Navi will go into this round. Really good buy in comparison. G2 not going to give it a try because they haven't even gotten a bomb plant. No 3 AK buy this time on round number 2. Double nade into the B halls to stop any second rush that could come. And again, teams these days have been leaning towards B much more heavily than we've ever seen before on Mirage. There's been a lot of action over on the B site. It's for once fun to be a B player. Never thought we'd see the day.
2020, just full of twists and turns, right? B Mirage,
yeah,
the new hotspot.
Yeah, but you wouldn't, maybe it's fun, maybe it's not. Maybe teams are going B because it's easier now. And that's the hard part. Wow, okay. He really got some airtime on that one, yeah.
Yeah, that could have been a world record. We got the Olympics here in mid. Simple, off of the window peak, he is trusting the MP9 and Electronic to cut off Kenny S. That's an easy pickup as Kenny never even looks. Electronic's looking to make a bit more money off the FAMAS. Hunter, last man, now down. Fantastic round from Navi, a flawless conversion from Pistol.
So crazy how much has changed this year just with Navi, the top 5 in general. Like, when you brought up this is number 1 and 2 ranked team, I was like, wait a second.
You didn't believe me.
Yeah, I was like, hold on, that's actually true. Like, wait, what? How is that possible? But then you like Astralis, Mouse Sports at one point, you know what I mean? Like, like, it's just been such a fall for grace from some of these teams. And yeah, it's not that Navi and G2 slipped in because they just weren't slouching. They're also have been very good. Of course, Katowice for Navi was that real amazing moment for Navi in this year and really showed us what they can do. Bit of a drop off from there. Gestation period into the online play, and now they look like they're comfortable once again, which is great to see. So the buy is good here for both teams. Simple's already on the up. G2 favoring mobility with just a AK buy. Bomb stationed top mid waiting in this default to see if any aggressive moves will be made. It'll be a late top mid smoke here from Jack. Still open line as a sight though for Simple.
He's gonna dodge a couple flashbangs, eats the follow-up, so he does have to fall off of this angle, and that enables Jax to cross over to the boxes. So a slight bit more control, but Kenny, that's a crucial error. He thinks that he can pull off the Jax, except that was with no flash, and suddenly it's down a man. Navi gonna fall off ever so slightly. As Simple instead posts up towards Chair. Hunter has come out of the underpass, and they are gonna flash Simple off of this angle. That's well done in order to take the ladder control. Jax is gonna sit there for the moment, and you can see this B pinch starting to come into fruition. There's gonna be 2 players in the apartments, and then the double cat stack. Simple, able to bring Hunter back, and he has a teammate as well, just standing on the balcony of B. That's Perfecto with the MP9, just the first one. Simple still amidst them, but Flamey trades out of the back of Market, and 3 survive for Navi.
It was looking like a really promising B crush there once they had turned the corner on Cat. But of course, being down a player means they can't trade out effectively. Losing Kenny S is obviously a big target to take down. And Simple, he had to fall back all the way to bench to help defend against the push. But it looked like G2 had created enough space to be able to pull that one out. But now they're back on pistols. Navi 3-0 this time. And yeah, they look super solid so far. Now, that sight line from Cat is obviously what was the most important thing for Simple. This next round, we'll have to see if they want to respect that position. Of course, this round, it'll just be an aim map for the CTs as the Ts try to get whatever they can. Everybody doing well already. Flamey 5-0. Electronic, I think 4-0. Simple hitting shots as usual.
On the 1st of June, one Jacob Pimp Vinicky says, quote, now this may sound super controversial, but from what I've seen thus far in 2020, Navi winning IEM Katowice the way they did was a fluke. They were all right in the group stage at IEM, not fantastic. Ever since their Magic playoff, it's been super lackluster. I do kind of agree with that, but now that we're in the playoff stage of DreamHack and Navi have had a little bit of time to recompose, I see a really, really well-oiled machine. I mean, look at the fantasticness of this Behold. They give up nothing versus the Pistols.
But can you read that tweet in Pimp's voice is the main question.
Now, this may sound super controversial. No, I don't know, man. Super. I can do the super.
Pimp was German, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, NA accents, chat. NA accents.
Okay, well, 4-0 here. They have the op now on Kenny S. Simple, new look at mid, out connector. Waiting for the cross, standing in the Molotov, but his teammate's obviously going to smoke behind him here. Nade follows, and it's good establishing round for the T's here, top mid control. Hunter in the underpass. The CTs, they press though. They do not want to give up too much space. Good to try to find these fights if you feel okay about it. Hunter's going to know somebody has run to the other side of window.
Little Molotov to the bottom of mid here. We feel the pressure, it seems. Navi. Double back, grabbing bomb for G2. This is weird. Bomb's rotating towards A while the players leave.
Yeah, I love the A defense. It's very fluid right now. Everybody's floating, responding to a lot of different situations. I think ultimately you see like a lot of holes in this game plan if there isn't a lot of awareness about exactly what the T's are doing, but they're responding to what they know. Now, moving back into positions, getting ready for this A hit.
Yeah.
I think they can feel it.
Remember, there was the op that moved over from the A site back towards middle, so I believe he makes a little bit of sound on ramp. That gets the attention of Simple. So this would be the Kenny S versus Simple fight, except Kenny left for mid. They are going to try to flash past the top of ramp. Boomich, deep stairs peek. That one works for him. Simple's going to drop the shot, and that enables G2 to cross over to Tetris. But this is a classic trap. You've gotten stuck on Tetris, and you need somebody to crack open this bomb site. It looks like Kenny could be their man. He comes in from connector. Oh, has cover, and the quick shot versus electronic. Oh, another! Perfecto dropped off of catwalk, but the time nearly plays out here for Flamey. He's got 2 T's already tagged up really low. And with this M4, he needs to find Kenny. He's going to peek down into the bottom of mid, tag him ever so slightly. Kenny's now down. Bomb, 1/3 of the way gone already. But you know Flamey's going to play this fast pace. He runs up the staircase, and he sees nothing. G2 giving him an opening. That's Nexa going in for the duel, leaving it all on Amanek. But with the double flash, the smoke, and the bomb so far gone, you've got to think he has this, and he wastes no time. Amanek clutching, and G2 taking their first round.
Man, G2 squeezed water from stone with that Kenny peek. This first kill, that's not even a shoulder peek. Boomich barely showing anything. Electronic going down with this Kodak moment from Kenny S. Beautiful flicks. Oh my God, an unbelievable pace. And this is Navi responding perfectly to both mid control, the A ramp pressure. They knew the A hit was coming. They even flashed and got the first kill on A ramp after establishing and not dying versus mid. That was an amazing round from G2 on an individual level, despite Navi having a great defense, floating and reacting at every single turn.
Kenny S. It's always nice to see him looking on points, and he hits Boomich. Goes for the second. Boomich dancing with death on the back of that A site, but then Kenny S immediately decides to move over towards B. It seems like G2 want to commit off of this. Flamey, good angle, in from the window. Can't manage to hold the entirety of Valk, but Simple, he'll help out. And a 2 versus 3 is what ensues. They're still waiting for Kenny S to come over, and if he had flashbangs or smokes, then maybe Nexa can be given a little bit more space, but instead Kenny peeks. Oh, and Nexa, he brings this back down to the 1 versus 1. We were distracted by the scope. It's really on Nexa, and he takes all 3.
Another 3K to win it for G2 when they had no business doing so. They get the early damage in with Kenny S on the A ramp, but the entire time the CTs are fully aware of the thought of B. Of course, the only thing you're trying to do to get into B is get the attention off of the window for 1 second so you can jump out. Once that player is in your sight, it's a complete infestation of the terrorists, but they could stop that first player, and he thought it'd be for sure over until Nexa pulls out a round like that. It's round 7. It's a fiery start. It's great CT defense from Navi. Individuals coming through for G2. This is exactly what we wanted out of this matchup.
So far delivering. I mean, Flamey even almost getting that 1 versus 3, and that wasn't even a winning round. So we've had some shining moments already. We are 6 rounds deep in what's going to be an incredible best of 3. I'm just going to ask, who do you have? If you have predictions before this started, we filled them out. What did you go with?
I think I went with Navi. I think I went with Navi 2-1. I feel like a lot of these games are so close to call. I wasn't sure, honestly, about almost any of the predictions besides like the Furia matchup, maybe. Everything else was like, this is probably a 2-1. I don't know who wins the third map.
I feel you. I did the exact same thing. 2-1 result, but I took the favor of G2. I knew that Mirage and Dust 2 were going to come into the map veto. Like, that was the given. The question mark was the third, And I think that letting our predictions hinge on that third map, I think everybody's... If you think this is a clear cookie-cutter matchup, you're probably out of your freaking mind.
Yeah, you're probably the kind of guy who gets, like, the gold pick'em because you're dumb. You know what I mean? Like,
right, yeah. The guy who shoots for gold
that major with all the upsets and you get everything right. Like, you're not smart. You're actually not smart. Oh man. Okay. Well, wow. That 2 clutch rounds turns into an Eco versus Navi. Not easy rounds to win at all. Like, at all. Every other team would be 0-7 versus Navi at this point. So yeah, this is a real clash of titans here, number 1 and number 2 in the world, showing us why they are those ranks.
The moment we get into the gun rounds as well, pace slows down here. See Simple just trying to find Kenny S. Kenny, he's been at the top of middle early. He's been over towards A ramp. And at the current moment, well, he's walking up underpass of all places. Electronic, I love this position. He's going to go ahead and peek mid off of Simple, missing the shot. Nexa does take one off the window. Electronic just 180 after 180, trying to keep mid under control. 3v3, and Simple, well, he's going to drop that smoke as Kenny gets in the window. And Kenny's already tagged up, so he's working with minimal health. Oh my God. Man. The quick shot into the head of Simple. Just total execution in the jungle. Kenny is the king. Man.
Say that in the presence of Simple. Those big words. You forgot Simple was here. That's how fast that was. I mean, that was blazing fast, man. Holy smokes. Yeah, the window room control meant the world. Obviously, this is another great start from Navi. Crazy that we're at this position where now G2 are back into the round. Boomich, though, could potentially kill Kenny S. Look at that big long scope just sticking out of the corner. And it's a headshot where it doesn't even need to be. He was low, but the upgrade in from Boomich. Oh, and the op shot on the cross.
That's huge. That's going to force Hunter into the 1 versus 2. He's looking to maybe find timing on window, but bomb's not planted on that side. So instead, he's just going to commit to CT. And how does the defense get him out of here? Well, Boomich has 1 flash if they want to try to aggress him or if they anticipate the peak. But off the first bomb tap, he doesn't move a muscle. Hunter, he's going to go back in. He denies Boomich, and now that pulls the diffuser off. And Hunter, he jumps the gun, goes back for the second fight. Perfecto's going to best him, and Perfecto getting Navi to 5.
Just barely. By a oh my God, he doesn't even win it. Who's better?
Oh,
it takes too long. He doesn't get back on the bomb at time. It seemed like he was going to grab it. I can't believe what we're witnessing already. This game is delivering on every front right now. Let's see the shot again from Kenny S. Pow!
Dude, Simple hits the dirt instantaneously. Damn, I can't believe I called that one wrong. Perfecto. Oh, that's got a sting right down to the wire. And look at the result of that. We've got a full-fledged buy back up from G2 and just a scout for Navi on Simple. My bad.
Oh,
my bad.
Wow. Yeah, the economic punishment from these rounds is insane versus Navi. Like, Navi are actually building up a loss bonus off of the start, even though these rounds have been so close. Just the Deegs up. It's got to be frustration in the Navi camp.
Thing is, you don't want to get flustered too early here. You know, we've had some wild rounds already. Hearts are pumping. Electronic. Ooh, he dodges that grenade. Looked like it could have done some damage.
Oh, it's going to be a good goddamn series.
Yeah, it's going to be such a good day. Dude, we have G2 and Navi on one side of the upper bracket, and then FaZe versus Big, a matchup I don't think many people expected. But, I mean, who would have even expected Big to be here, let alone for FaZe to be looking so good so quickly with Bemis? I mean, but that's a story for another day. How can we focus on anything other than what is at hand? You know, it is just the pistol round, so maybe we can talk through it, but so far so good. Bomb's gonna come up from Connector. That's the A site completely clear. They dodged that 3-man stack at B, and for good reason, because the one player who walks over there, poor Jax, okay, poor Jax, we are talking just the pistols for Navi. He's already 0-7. He walks around Catwalk and just gets banged out. G2's still gonna win the round, but poor Jax, man, rip.
I mean, you can't get mad at anyone for being 0-7 in this match. These guys are like heavy hitters right now. Everyone just came out of the gravity chamber, wherein like they're just they've been training. It feels like for years in the hyperbolic time chamber. They've come out to play one Counter-Strike match, and this is what they're all leaving it on the table for. This is one of those games. Like Vanity was talking about, you DM 6 hours the night before and then the day of, and then come through.
It's so reassuring to me to see these dirty Deagle plays going down and around that Navi have no business winning. Oh, they even take Kenny with it. Hunter, he barely survives on 1 health, so that's a very cost-effective round for Navi, undoubtedly.
Yeah, definitely, yeah, it's good. Yeah, keep it close, of course. This is the only goal on these eco rounds. So the setup is for Navi. It's not a situation where they need to call a pause. They have good setups. It just gets so tense with these individual plays they need to trade. It just looks so hard to trade when you have these multi-frags coming out from Nexa, from KennyS. They just look like they're almost untradeable. Both situations, the spacing is almost perfect, but this time to kill is so low on both frags that you can't even be mad that they weren't traded. KennyS holding for that simple peek off short. It's not coming this time around. Where is Kenny, or where is Simple? He's going around to the A site, maybe trying to. I think he's. Yeah, he's just.
Ooh.
Oh wow, he's anticipating the A hit late. It's not though. It's B.
Electronic, he's between the smokes. He just almost popped up and found Kenny on the catwalk, but Kenny's able to just walk by the base of Connector instead. And now we're gonna get that B flashbang parade going. Perfecto on the back of bench. He gets one with a grenade, but he offsets his own crosshair. Flamey, he's gonna allow a player to cross, but that's a second headshot. We've got Jackson, Nexa, both low. Kenny, though, comes in from Cat and stops Simple. That's the op versus op duel favoring G2. But here comes Electronic into the bomb site, taking 2 heads and forcing everything onto Kenny. He's gonna sprint up the catwalk, misses the shot, and Electronic coming in big. 4 frags on the B site. We're all tied at 5.
Electronic, he knows the pin, baby. He knows the password. That's it. I can't believe this. Yeah, even stops the plant. There's no cover on that plant. Nexa not in the perfect position to defend against this. Electronic throws caution to the wind by pushing out early, but he's rewarded for the play, and he's even able to kill every single person from there on out, on top of denying the plant, which is kind of all he was going for. The name's Jug. The name's Jug. What did I say? I read it like it was Jugi. Jug. Jax is the 5th player to go 007 at DreamHack Masters EU plus NA, and the second to do it versus Navi. Is that okay? That's why. So it is like Yugi, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why I read it like that. All right. Okay.
Look at you. You're clairvoyant.
I thought it was a different Jug point. Yeah. All right. Okay. So I was like Jughead or something.
Jughead,
right.
Yeah. Little Archie. You're aging yourself.
Yeah. I used to go in to buy those in the grocery store line. I used to buy Archie comics. You guys remember? Yeah. Archie comics.
Digital era.
Oh shoot. My boomer is showing.
Yeah, put it away, would you? Here's Simple. Ooh, missing a shot.
Yeah. A game like this, man, those are the shots you cannot miss. It's a free opening. Of course,
and yeah, I was gonna say that would be Jax going 0 and 9. So maybe Simple just gives the poor guy a chance. But Hunter gives no chances in mid. He burns Flamey out of the corner as Kenny through smoke takes Simple down with just the Galil. That one's gonna have to sting. Navi, they do not want to get economically reset yet again.
That last one was real tricky. That last one was real tricky too, because they did the B lean, but this time they did it with mid control, which has almost always looked like they were going back to A. The only other 2 times they went B is the full B, the one where KennyS went A ramp, but this time he was in the op and mid. So they did a good job of making Navi guess. And of course, Navi still won the round because of Electronic, but that's the state of the game right now.
Here's Perfecto playing from bench, trying to manage what he can. And it's a labored effort, but he's still standing long enough for Boomich to get out from the market. Quick flick over to Kenny, stops him in his tracks. And we've got a tense situation for Boomich. He is all alone, and that USP cuts down another. It's Hunter on 20 health, AK in hand. He finds him, trying to hide. You can run, but you cannot escape the Hunter.
Yo, he's in the woods looking for you. He laid the bear trap down. He caught the Boomich. Oh my god. They actually pull this one back. They didn't even have the guns to do it, really, right? They had... How many AKs do they have on this round?
Not enough for everyone. That's for
sure.
Sure.
Not enough for everyone. They've got 3 Mac 10s after that round.
And that could tell us that they're gonna change up the pace. Let's get a little aggressive. Let's spank Navi around a little, perhaps. Let's see. It's just gonna be the straight up commitment off the utility. And the defense, they're gonna be playing close. We've got Boomich outside of the ramp, Electronic by his side. That's just the FAMAS and M4. 1 smoke, but they get proactive. And the longer G2 take, the closer Boomich gets.
It doesn't look like they're going to counter Boomich's position if they drop directly in front of him. No ops as well to stop this A-ramp setup. It could be a good situation for Navi. You think this is scary for the CTs? This is kind of what they want.
Yep, definitely. First one goes well, but do they anticipate Electronic being up close? Amanek tries to peek it. Bomb's been dropped, and Electronic smokes him off. Now, getting a little bit more space. Kenny, he tries to push through, and that's going to cost him. Hunter has the element of surprise, but Flamey, the Sixth Sense, turns back and snaps this one into Navi's favor. This game is so back and forth. We are 12 rounds deep, tied at 6 apiece.
M. Night Shaman Lama Ding Dong whispers in his ear, look behind you. Oh my god. There it is. Hunter. Hunter X hunted. Good night. Yeah, wow. Okay. Tech timeout called. The setup is great. The read is right. A full A hit, and they have the double A ramp setup with the smoke, with the trade potential to make Kenny come through. He had no choice. His teammates, he's got to get through the A ramp so his teammates can help crush the site. He's got to trust himself to hit the shot. And you could see the way that Electronic is moving around. He expected that. A breach made. Electronic has more enemies flash than utility damage. I think that's okay. Round 13. I think both stats are good. Both stats are good. More, a lot of utility damage would be great. But if there's a lot of enemies flashed, that's also great.
Unless it's like 4 enemies flashed and 3 utility damage. The numbers really tell the story in that one.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. Yeah. Statistics can tell whatever story you want.
Elliot writing narratives. Here comes Kenny, Tech 9 in hand, trying to close this distance, but it's an intimidating endeavor with Simple on the other side. It's a labored endeavor, and yet he's delivered. Over towards the B site, we get an exchange of kills and the bomb's spotted, so it decides to double back. Electronic could call for reinforcements, but it looks like Navi hold 2 on A.
Yeah, they'll wait now. I like this mid-round reset. They've got pressure on a couple of spots, plus they've denied information in Banana, so that fog of war is valuable to them for the moment. Yeah, they can even freely come back if they'd like to. Of course, the guns could tell the most important part of the story at the moment. Smoking a window is quite interesting. It's going to drag some attention from the CTs and hold just in case there's going to be some kind of lurk play. I'm sure the T's are reading into this as though it is a passive setup for the CTs. Not much more incentive for them to make some kind of aggressive move. So window, kind of a smart place to go to. But what can they still get of this if the CTs are watching the back of window?
Boomish is so committed to this position. And he even takes the incentive to peek around the corners. He's trying to gather this info. He knows that he is the one-man hold, and he's not going to jump the gun on that. He does decide to go back. Nexa just blows him away. And Flamey instead is going to have to try and take up the position, but the flank from Hunter, so good. He finds the timing because he heard Flamey sprinting away from that. And Electronic, he's planted out of the sight. This is done.
Dude, that's unbelievable. First of all, because Nexa gets a P250 kill, everything becomes possible for the T's. That you need a miraculous frag like that when you've only got P250s. But Hunter jumped by the window, baited out the shot from Flamey, and then came back through the mortar hole when he heard the rotation come in. So called out that emergency CT move. And from Flamey's perspective, he's thinking that the guy in window, well, he's just going to continue onto the A side. No chance of getting flanked. He's got to be so furious about that. G2, they play that perfectly in the 3v3. Of course, it comes because of that crazy P250 kill, but they did what they could, and they seem to be aware of every single CT position once again.
Works. The mid round has looked great.
That's the most important part, right? They did seem to be aware of what the CTs could do, and then they played to their best of their ability, and then that's why they won. Whoa, that's so nuts for Dominic too.
Nexa. I mean, and you could see it from Nexa's perspective. You could see Boomich trying to keep eyes on Palace first, and then he would also extend a bit, check out ramp, check out connector, but it's the connector and Palace peak simultaneous. So even if Nexa doesn't hit the quick headshot, there was a second player there.
Angle holder. Electronic has taken the opening duel in 36.6 of Navi rounds at Masters. He's won 65% as a CT, but 30% on the T side prior to this map. Okay, well, 36.6 is a very high number. In terms of opening duels in all of the Navi rounds, that's an incredibly high number, again, for such a high fragging player. So the success rate is another story, but just the attempts is also, I think, kind of a staggering amount. Comparatively, we talked about Art. I think he had 44, which is like higher than any other player.
Yeah, the highest in the world.
Highest in the world.
And if I remember that stat line correctly, like even the second and third are kind of like in the high 30s. You know, like nobody's over the 40 point except for him.
And this was just one map for Electronic.
Ooh, he is 20% of Navi, 36% of their entry. Nearly doing the job of 2.
100% reason to remember the name.
Yeah, give you that. Ooh, remember that one, Kenny. Scout shot through the wall, through the head.
It just takes your breath away, doesn't it? The scout shots, it's just such an airy shot. Like, you don't really, it's just the wisp of the wind that you hear.
It's the clap. It's the clap of that SSG08. And he's going to try to extend here. He's doing the damage. Or at least he's trying his damnedest. But he gets Molotov back into the depths of the site. They have these T's completely crunched on, but Jax is still sitting on top of the cat rafters. Funnily enough, just holding here. 50 seconds remain. We get that Palace peek coming out of Amanek. He could extend into Simple, who's already low HP. Jax has managed something over towards middle as well, so they are clawing their way back into this. The 3 versus 4, the 3 versus 5, whatever it Dan be, it was against them. And G2 have managed well so far. Perfecto down, Boomich out of the round. G2 coming in with 8.
Yeah, they're constantly staying active. Love how Amanek was not just going to sit there, seize up, and wait for something to happen. Went and tried to make up for the fact that Simple was getting more confident. This is a crazy shot by him. And then another trade comes out on the A site. The rotation comes in. Amanek says, I'm not scared of a scout. Okay, he drops under balcony, peeks into firebox, opens the round up again. Open for business.
Uh-oh. Missing the jump there, Simple.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. He only misses once per round. And he missed the jump first and foremost. So the shot on point. Beautiful stuff. Don't forget for a moment, we have had 3 1vx situations this round. This half picked up by G2. So yes, they are leading. And they could finish this half with a 9-6 advantage, but that would be the difference in the 1 versus 1s, literally making the score count.
No, we could totally look at Navi's setups and say they were great. They were great setups.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's not like they slouched on talent either. You know what I mean?
We get the peek, we get the push. Perfecto holds for the moment. Now, perfect timing. He's gonna drop that bomb carrier and the second man as his teammates pick up frags all around him. This is Navi finishing the first half at a single round deficit. That's it, that's all. And I would argue that as this half went on, Simple just looking better and better. Kind of a colder start compared to Kenny, who had some solid op shots, but actually finishes the half with at least a -3. He's down to 23 HP as this one comes to a close. So the 1vx's and the economic ramifications all playing to the favor of G2. Join us after the break for the second half of Mirage.
Came from the darkest regions, wrapped in a cloak of light. Minus the focus heights, I'm trying to get my opens right. Throw my doubts aside, I climb the mountainside. And when I reach the peak, the view I see will not be flat. Feel the pressure, but it's relative to the man I measured. No time for hesitation, finally time to step up. And when you're feeling deep in your bones, in your zone, you're fed up. You're close to the glass ceiling, keep your head up. See your dreams as a goal, that's how I'm seeing mine. Achieve my full potential, let all of the demons pre my shine.